Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's session. But before we proceed ahead, I would like to ask what we discussed yesterday. Can any one of you share? Yes.
Yesterday's Discovery the Happy Planet.
Yeah, we started a new session, Discover the Happy Planet.
Three
But
types.
before
Miserable material world.
yeah, okay.
ABCD
Yes.
formula.
Yes, okay.
And last is blissful spiritual world.
Blissful special. Okay. So we discussed about miserable material world. So
Yes, Prabhuji.
so what did you understand about the miserable material world? Can you tell?
Prabhuji, we discuss about material world and spiritual world.
Yes.
What is the difference between material world and spiritual world?
What is the difference? Okay, good. What else? So, Karuna Mataji has written difference between material world and spiritual world. Astha telling material life is not permanent and is a pain producing, whereas the spiritual life is permanent and is bliss producing and full of knowledge. Okay, good. Very nice. And Aditi is writing this material world is reflection of a spiritual world. Yes, good, very nice. And material world is reflection of the spiritual world. Yes. So what does it mean? Material world is reflection. Material world is not just reflection; it's a perverted reflection. Inward, inward. But more suitable word is perverted reflection. It's pervertedly reflected. Perverted reflection means the thing which is highest in a spiritual world. That is the lowest kind of thing in this material world. Now, what is lowest in this material world? The spiritual world is full of wonderful relationship, having pure love, and material world is full of wonderful exhibition of lust. So we discuss about this. So the relationship of Krishna with his gopis, this Madhurya Ras, is the highest exhibition of love in the spiritual world. But when the same kind of relationship is exhibited in this material world, that becomes the lowest or worst kind of relationship, which produces pain. So there is no actually love. But as we discuss reflection, it appears in the reflection also it appears that the object is there, just like some reflection of a tree. So the fruit is also reflected, leaves, everything is reflected. So from distance, the fruit appears to be real. Similarly, in this material world, all kinds of relationship appear to be a relationship of love, and especially this relationship of girlfriend boyfriend. It appears to be the supermost relationship exhibiting love, but actually it is the lowest kind of relationship, an exhibition of highest kind of lust. Yeah, it's a fact. And there's in the spiritual world, all the relationships which a devotee has got with Krishna. So both of them, Lord Krishna himself and the devotee, they experience the highest kind of bliss. And in fact, the devotee who serves the Lord, the servant experiences many thousands of more bliss than the master who is being served. The person who serves the master, he experiences thousands of times more bliss than the master himself. And that's why the master always desires to become servant. And he wants to become servant. Just like here you can see in the background, Krishna, the master, he has become the servant of Arjuna. He has become the driver of Arjuna. In this material world, it's exactly opposite. The master also suffers, and servant suffers more. So that is the reality. So we discussed this yesterday, that this material world is a miserable place because it's a reflection of original thing, perverted reflection. So perverted reflection means everything is just upside down. So this is the difference. Difference is like real marvel versus fake marvel. Real marvel is spiritual world, fake marvel is material world. Real currency versus fake currency. Although both of these things they appear same, but there is difference. Real mango versus fake mango, and real beauty versus fake beauty. Spiritual beauty versus material beauty. So material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. So now today's session, we are entering into the spiritual world. So how many of you want to enter into spiritual world? Please raise your hand. Only one, two, three, four, five. That's all. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's all. What about others? Okay, good. Very nice. So please attentively hear this. You will enter into spiritual world. So spiritual world is a blissful place. So yesterday we just discussed uh, just brief something about the spiritual world. That every step in the spiritual world is a dance. Everyone likes to dance, or at least likes to see others dancing. Those who have not got experience of dancing, they can come to our temple. So we are so fortunate right from the day beginning of our day, 4:30 morning, we get the opportunity to sing and dance for Supreme Lord. That is a wonderful experience. And every every moment is a festival, every step is a dance, every word is a song, and every thought is expression of love. That is the nature of the spiritual world. The soul originally belongs to the spiritual world. We actually originally belong to spiritual world. Every word is a song. Every walk is a dance. Water is like nectar. Here, water is like poison. All living beings are pure hearted soul. You just imagine if you have ever been with any sincere devotee of Krishna, if you have got any little bit association of any sincere devotee of Krishna, so you might have experienced what it means, purity, what it means to be pure. So we can just see when we live in the association of devotees of Krishna. So although we are practicing, we are trying to become pure, we have not yet become fully pure, but still, it's a so wonderful association that in after coming to this association, we are ready to leave all other association. We forget all other association. In the material world, if a person is not a devotee of the Supreme Lord, so he may be our greatest, very closest relative. He may be our well-wisher, friend, parents, husband, wife, brother, sister, friend, whatever he may be. If he is not a devotee, then uh, he cannot be selfless, fully selfless, or fully. Uh, he will not have the full intention to do our greatest benefit. But any devotee who is even little bit sincere, doesn't matter whether we have got any blood relationship with him or not. If we'll have sincere intentions to do good for us, that is the nature of pure devotee of the Lord. So all living beings in the spiritual world, all living beings are pure, and there is no old age, disease, or death in the spiritual world. Because old age, disease, and death are the greatest obstacle on the path of enjoyment, even in this material world. So, but there is no old age, disease, and death in the spiritual world. Everything is just blissful. So that is the nature of the spiritual world. So that is our real eternal home where we can get unlimited and unending happiness. And forgetting this, we are trying to gather some little bit cheap happiness in this material world. It's just like the son of Ambani. He has, because he has left the company of his rich father. Now he is on the road begging for 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 50 rupees just to maintain his body. That is the case with us. Leaving aside the company of the Supreme Lord, who can give us the unlimited amount of spiritual bliss, unending and unlimited happiness, we have come to this material world and we are begging for this cheap, the worst quality of material happiness. And for the sake of acquiring some cheap material happiness, we are even ready to sacrifice our own life and others' life also. Just imagine. This is our very unfortunate situation. But actually, uh, we have we have the right to get unending and unlimited spiritual happiness. So this we can get by coming in contact with the Supreme Lord. He is ready to give because that is our adhikar, that is our right. We just have to come back to him, just like the son of Ambani. He has the right, he has the adhikar to get the property of his father, rich father. The only thing he has to do, he has to come back and accept that Ambani is my father. That's all. Nothing else he has to do. Similarly, what we are supposed to do, we simply have to come back to shelter of Krishna. And Krishna is ready to share his all the opulences, all his bliss and happiness. You can just see in this picture all these friends of Krishna, Krishna Balram, they are so much in bliss, great bliss. They have nothing else to do. Krishna Balram, along with this, his millions and trillions of friends. Here only some 20, 30 friends have been uh, painted because we have capacity is not there. But actually, every day, Krishna Balram, they go for herding the cows along with the Krishna Balram. And millions and trillions of his friends they go with millions and trillions of cows. There's no count. But still, each and every friend of Krishna, when they are in the company of the Supreme Lord, they experience the personal relationship with the Supreme Lord. When they have very nice picnic party, their only business is to go and play and eat and decorate each with each other and have fun, enjoy all these things. No study. Are you seeing any of the friend, any of the cowherd boy is carrying big bag with so much burden to study? Not at all. No burden at all. Nowadays, especially in cities like Mumbai, it's a great torture. Such a great exploitation is being done on children. Morning 7 o'clock, uh, uh, they go for schooling. They go to school. And when they come back, they take lunch, and then immediately they have to go for tuition. And when they come back from tuition, after taking dinner, they have to do homework assignment, both of school and of a tuition class. So where is the fun? No fun at all. So in one of our offline classes, there is one student. He is studying in third class. So I asked, yeah, how many rounds you chanted? So actually, he's very sincere devotee. Sometimes he chants 16 rounds. Just imagine, he's studying in third class. His age might be 6, 7 years, 7 years, or less than that. And they once he's 5, 6 years old. That means he must be in first or second standard. So sometimes he chants 16 rounds, sometimes 32 rounds also. So one day he couldn't chant. So he said, Prabhuji, I was very busy. So I was surprised. How come you become so busy? What is your schedule? Then when he explained his schedule from morning 7 o'clock till night 10 o'clock, 10:30. So I was shocked. My Lord, this is such a great torture to the students of modern age. At least I did not have to undergo such great torture. In my life till 12th class, I never went to any tuition, any coaching class. Only for 11th, 12th class, when summer vacation was there, for 2 months, I did some coaching class. That's all. But when school was open, I never went for tuition coaching class. I have very nice schedule. Morning 8 o'clock, we used to go to school, and then we used to come back by 2 o'clock after taking lunch. 2:30 to 4:30 complete rest, and 4:30 to 8:30 we went out again back to school, but not for study, but for playing volleyball, basketball, handball, and badminton, and table tennis, and one more game, 6 7 games. So we had so much fun. And after coming from there, we used to take dinner, very nice because so much hunger. At least now I only take hardly 10 to 15% of that much. So earlier I used to take 7 to 8, 10 chapatis after coming back from there. And that was also another kind of enjoyment. So, and after taking dinner, just for the name only, we used to study for half an hour, 1 hour, that's all. And in this week, we completed our 12th class, till 12th class, and with good marks. 10th class, I got 91%. Of course, in 10th standard, I studied a little bit more. In 12th class, also, I got 89%. And after that, I did 1 year. I dropped for 1 year. And when I was in Kota, then that time I studied a lot. And I used to study for 5 to 6 hours every day. And then I got selected into IIT. But of course, I know many of you will not be able to believe this, but you should believe. I'm not just telling you lie, because all these things are written in our destiny. It doesn't matter much. So I'm not saying you don't study. You study, but you should also save some of your time for practicing this Krishna consciousness, for chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, for attending these sessions, for reading Bhagavad Gita, because this is the real benefit which we can get in our life. Otherwise, whole life will go on like this, busy, 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 busy. And one day there will be a knock on the door. My dear sir, you are very busy, but no more busy. I have come to free you completely. Huh? Who is knocking on the door? Mr. Yamaraj. Not Yamaraj. Yamaraj is a great person. He is king. He is not going to come. His assistants will come. Yamadut. Those who are too busy, those who become too busy in this material world, for them Yamadut come. And those who are free word, like devotees, they chant, they dance, they preach Krishna consciousness, they are blissful. For them, Vishnu Dutas. That is different. So you can see these boys, God boys, they are so blissfully playing with Krishna Balram. They're such a nice thing. How many of you want to have such a life, wonderful life? Yes, please raise your hand. That's all. Only 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. Those who desire, that's all. Very nice. What about others? That means others, they are not sharing. They have just opened the link. Okay, good. So if you want to have such a wonderful, nice, blissful life like these cowherd boys, then we have to become fully Krishna conscious. So this life is a preparation. This human birth, this life is a preparation for entering into the life of complete bliss in the spiritual world. Eternally, not just for 10, 20, 50 years, 70 years, eternally. Eternally, all these cowherd boys, they eternally remain in the same age, 6, 7, 8 years old boys. And Krishna Balram eternally remain their heroes. And Krishna Balram, they give so much bliss to all these cowherd boys. So when they have picnic party, when they are having lunch with Krishna Balram, so each and every boy, there are millions and trillions of boys, they sit in the circle, they make many, many circles, hundreds and thousands of circles. And Krishna Balram, they sit in the center. And each and every boy, they feel that they are with Krishna Balram. And they feed every one of them, whatever lunch they bring from their home. each and every one of them, they feed Krishna, and Krishna feeds them back. So that is the exchange they have with each other. So that is the nature of this spiritual world. So thus the goal of our life is to return back home, back to Godhead. That is our real goal. Our goal is not just to become a doctor, engineer, lawyer, or so many other things. Our goal is to return back home. That is our real home. Spiritual world is our real home. Back to Krishna, back to God, and enjoy the unlimited bliss for eternally. So that we can get in the spiritual world. And so somebody may ask, if the spiritual world is so blissful, everything is so nice there, then why does the soul leave the spiritual world and come to this material world? Its actual answer is, we will try to discuss something, but its actual answer is that when you prepare yourself and when you go back to Krishna, so Krishna will explain you why did you leave him and come to this miserable material world. But still, we shall see something. So the material world is compared to a prison. This world is a prison house, and we are. If this world is prison, then who we are? Who we are? Prisoner or jailer or policeman? We are prisoners because prisoners are bound by certain laws. Prisoners are given sufferings. So we are getting suffering. We have already discussed in our previous sessions that we are being we are forced to suffer. We are forced. We have certain conditions are forced upon us. So that means that we are prisoners. Suffering in this material world. So, what is the purpose of prison? The purpose of prison is not to give suffering to the prisoners. That is a way, but the main purpose is to reform them. And as soon as a prisoner is reformed, he has become good citizen, then he is released also. Similarly, this material world is a prison house, and we, if we reform ourselves and become devoted to the Supreme Lord, then we can get released from here. Can you guess why the material world is compared to a prison house? Oh, this is a quiz time, but I have already informed. Okay, this is fill up the blank with appropriate words. Jail, jailkeeper. Jailkeeper is Maya Devi. The sample answer is given. So jail, what is jail? Material world. What is food? Medicine. Check cert, whips, release, stay in state, laws of state, prime minister of the state. Okay. So we have less time, so we will not go in detail, but you can see. So all these things, it's just a comparison to make us understand that uh, we are in this material world. It's like a jail. So we are in jail. So our duty is to become free from jail. So the goal should not be to become more and more comfortable in the jail, but the goal of any prisoner should be how we can come out of the thing. That is the goal of our. That should be the goal of our life. So why does the soul leave the spiritual world and come to this material world? So a boy may adamantly want a car. Thus a father gives him a pedaling car to satisfy him. Similarly, the soul comes to this material world to try to imitate God for a while till he realizes his position as a servant of God. So maintained or we developed an independent desire to enjoy independent of the Supreme Court. And that is why we have been given the chance. Okay, my dear boy, my dear girl, you want to independently enjoy in this material world? Okay, go. And when we come, and we become entangled. That is the thing. So what gives happiness to this fish which is out of water? So if you supply everything, we have already discussed about this. If which is taken out of the water, if you supply everything, all the luxuries and comforts, still the fish can never become happy. So similarly, our position is like this in this material world, material existence. We are fish out of water, spiritual world. Similarly, the soul can only be happy in the spiritual world, not in the material world with any amount of luxuries and comforts. If all the luxuries and comforts are given to you, will you become happy? No. Why? Because there are so many people who have all the comforts and luxury. They are not happy. So those who are intelligent, just by seeing others, they can realize that I can never become happy simply by having all the luxuries and comforts of life with me. So then they understand what is our position. So our position is like this child. You see, this child, we are like the lost son of a billionaire father. That is our position. And we have to revive our eternal relationship with the Father, the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is our eternal Father, and we have lost our relationship with Him. And only because of this lost relationship, we are suffering. And because we have this eternal relationship with the Supreme Father, that's why we are trying to develop some kind of relationship with people in this world to become happy. But that's not possible. So only if we can revive our eternal relationship with our original Supreme Father, Krishna, then we can become truly happy. That is the goal of our life, to become truly happy. Everyone wants to become happy. So we can become truly happy by having eternal relationship with the Father. So this is a small video. You can see. Just wait. I will give you permission to hear.
The younger son told his father,
Father, I want my share of your estate now, before you die.
so his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, this younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land. And there he wasted all his money in wild living. About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, At home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. He wasted everything his father gave him. While he had the job of feeding the pigs, the young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him. But no one gave him anything. Finally, he came to his senses and said,
My father's workers have plenty to eat, and here I am starving to death. I will go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against God in heaven and against you. I am no longer good enough to be called your son. Treat me like one of your workers.
but when he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt sorry for him. He ran to his son. And he hugged and kissed him.
Hurry and bring the best clothes and put them on him. Give him a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet. This son of mine was dead, but has now come back to life. He was lost and has now been found.
And they began to celebrate.
Hare Krishna. So how many of you understood this story? Understood? So do you feel our position is like this? How many of you feel our position is like this? Okay, I think you understood. So this is exactly happens with us. Supreme Lord is waiting for us like a very affectionate father waits for his lost son who has rebelled away against him and went to somewhere, and he's trying to enjoy by performing all kinds of sinful activity, but he is unable to enjoy. Rather, he suffers a lot. Similarly, living the safe custody, blissful situation of the Supreme Lord, we have come to this first-class material world, and life after life, we are just going on to get some cheap material happiness, enjoyment. But actually, uh, we have the right, we have so much actual spiritual bliss is waiting for us, the spiritual world with the Supreme Lord Krishna. And Krishna is waiting for us. That's why it is said, as soon as a living entity who is lost in this material world, if he is come back to his senses and he takes one step towards Krishna, Krishna is ready to take 10 steps towards. Krishna runs behind him. And that we can see how merciful is the Lord, that he is trying so many different ways to again revive our lost relationship, lost consciousness. So there is one a scripture, Brihad Bhagavatamrita. In that scripture, there is one story of a devotee who, after performing devotional service for many thousands of years, and gradually he got purified. And when he went back home, back to Godhead, back to Krishna. So the devotee, he was in very great bliss, and he was crying. As soon as he saw Krishna, he was crying, and he started running towards Krishna. But as soon as Krishna heard that this particular devotee who left him and he has come back to him, so Krishna became so much overwhelmed with love and affection that he couldn't even walk. As soon as he put one step, he was crying. He became unconscious. He fell down and he became unconscious. The devotee became so much surprised. He thought, my Lord, I was suffering in this material world from so many millions and trillions of birth. And when I again came back to you, rejoined your association, so it was a great bliss for me. But I see that you are experiencing more bliss than me. How is it that? So Krishna came, and again he was, as he was coming towards him, Krishna was again and again, he was falling down. He was crying, falling down. He was becoming unconscious. And as soon as he came, he immediately embraced that living entity. His name is Gop Kumar. So as soon as Krishna embraced him, very tightly he embraced Gop Kumar. And Krishna, out of great love, which was manifesting within his heart, he started chastising Gop Kumar. He said, "You didn't care about my instruction. You never cared for me. From so many births, I was trying very hard to bring you back, but you never cared. You always disobeyed me. You always neglected me." And Krishna started showing everything, each and every birth. Krishna started reminding him, and as much as Krishna was reminding him of each and every birth, how this living entity Gopkumari was neglecting Krishna. So the more he was experiencing the pain and love, the more and more the love was increasing for the Supreme Lord. And finally, Krishna told that you were so adamant not to turn back to me. You were so adamant to remain in the material world. You were so adamant that you wanted to enjoy in the material world. I made so many plans. I sent so many devotees. I sent so many of my devotees, made your guru also. And in one of the birth, you even took initiation and you got the mantra. You started chanting also, but you didn't become serious. Still you maintained so much material attachments. Then even the guru, he could not fully deliver you. Then I thought, what is the means? How can I get him back? How can I get him back? Then I decided that I will give him birth on my holy land, Braj, in Vrindavan. So I made you appear. I made you take birth in Vrindavan, near Govardhan Hill. But still, you were not so serious about performing devotional service. Still, you were just herding the cows. Go seva, go seva. You were just engaged in herding the cows. You are not so much interested in chanting my holy names and purifying your heart. Then I had to personally come as your friend and become your guru. So Krishna, in his last word, Krishna came as Jayanta and became Krishna developed friendship with that Gop Kumar. And gradually, after developing friendship, gradually Krishna gave him the mantras for chanting, and then made him become fully purified, to give up all kinds of attachments from material world. And as soon as he became completely free from all kinds of material attachments, then finally Krishna took him with him back to God. So that is the great responsibility Krishna takes to bring us back to his abode. So we should also become serious and try to render service to Krishna or return to our original thoughts. Okay, so I think we should stop here. Tomorrow we'll discuss more about this spiritual world.